going to be, but it really boils down to a choice. And I want to tell you about myself so that you would be graceful enough to believe what I'm teaching you today, to implement what I'm teaching you today, so that you too can get results from what I am teaching you today. I am a high school dropout. I dropped out of school in the ninth grade. I never went to college. I do have a GED. I had my first child when I was 13. I ended up having to drop out of school because of me having to raise my son. I looked up, and 2 years later, after being in foster care, after being a teenage mom, I remember the day my brother came home after being shot in the head, and he drove himself home, and he jumped in the shower when I was in the shower with him. I just remember membrane and brain running from his head, and I could never forget that experience. I would never forget what I saw. And I always tell people that people don't know your childhood trauma. People don't know what you came from. People don't know what you experienced. And the truth is, you can't unsee what you've seen, and you can't unhear what you've heard. You can't unexperience what you've experienced. But I want you to know, once you learn to use all of those childhood traumas to your advantage, that is when you will start to step into a whole new metamorphosis of yourself. And so I came from all of that. I had my second child by the time I was 19. I used to be a stripper. I proudly tell people that because it shows that how you start is not how you have to finish. So I had my second daughter by the time I was 19. Still no education. I ended up picking up odds and end jobs. I used to be a TSA agent. I used to work at the airport. I used to do customer service. I used to do collections. And one day I woke up. Nothing traumatic happened. I didn't experience nothing that really woke me up outside of not liking my life. Let me repeat that. I didn't experience any sort of trauma. No trauma hit me. I just woke up one day and I admitted to myself that I did not like my life. Okay? I didn't like where I was living. I didn't like my bed. I didn't like my furniture. I didn't like my body. I didn't like my clothes. I didn't like my friends. And that may not be your story. You may like your life. But for me, I didn't like it. And I felt like it's no way that God created me in this world that He says is an abundant world, right? He said we can speak a thing and it shall come to pass. We can have anything that we believe that we can have. But here it is, I'm living in like poverty. I was living in the middle of like the hood, Opalaka. I was living right next to a prison, a women's prison. And the energy that I was encapsulated by, I believe, was affecting me now that I look back. And so when I woke up and had this moment, I just decided that I was going to do something about it. I want you to just drop some fire or just drop a one if that gravitates with you. If you ever woke up and recognized that you did not like your life, but also recognize that you were going to do something about it, go ahead and drop a one if that resonates with you, or go ahead and drop some fire if that resonates with you. All right. And so I believe that when you have those moments, okay, and I didn't tell y'all this, but I must add this, as I said, you can't unhear what you heard. I remember as a child being told that I had ADD, that I can't get nothing done because I don't know how to focus. And I remember hearing that and hearing it so much that I started to live my life like that. I started to live a very unfocused life. I started to live a very uncertain life because I was listening to all of the things that people were saying to me and about me, and I started to believe it. And so when I woke up on this day, the things I decided to do was, number one, I wanted to work on me because I knew that if I was in that space, that I'm the one that put me in that space. See, there was a point in time when I was 15 and 16 and 17, and yes, I was a child. And I believe that when you are a child, you do what children do. But at this point, here I am, 28 years old, and I realized in that moment that man is maker of himself, right? Man is made or unmade by himself. Each choice that you make is something called the law of causation. I learned that later on. Okay, the law of cause and effect. What are you doing to cause the effects of what your life is creating? And so when I woke up, one of the things I decided to do was really get into personal growth and development. And I just want to tell each and every one of you that's here, of course, nobody can be present for the entire time. It's just not possible. Your mind is going to drift. You're going to go to the bathroom. You're going to get bored. You're going to get disenchanted. But the mere fact that you are here You are here. Literally, what is today's date? Today is November the 14th. You are here on November 14th, okay? It is 47. Did y'all know we are 47 days away from 2022? We are 47 days away to 2022. And many people are just doing the norm, okay? Not discounting church, not discounting family time, but you are here. And so I just want to tell you, like, celebrate yourself for being here, celebrate yourself for tapping in, celebrate yourself for knowing that it is time to understand how to build a platform. Celebrate yourself because I see that many of you are here. You're not no spring chicken. Like, I'm 41 years old. Many of you are here, I could tell you're probably over the age of 41. You're around maybe my age and a little older. But you're here because you realize that, and then this is the question I just asked myself in the shower, literally like 30 minutes ago. I asked myself, I said, Stormy, what if you have been prepared to live in a world that no longer exists? And I said that to myself, and I said, what? And I asked that question again, and I knew that wasn't really for me at this moment because I'm very intentional with my platform. I'm very intentional with my mornings. I'm very intentional with every area of my life, and I'm going to give it to you all in a minute what I do. But I said, no, Stormy, that's not for you. That is the message that you need to talk to today on this platform. You need to ask these leaders, these ladies, and these gentlemen, what if we have been prepared to live in a world that no longer exists? Let me give you an example. I'm sure many of you all, like myself, right? It was moments for you like, there's no way cryptocurrency will take over the world. There's no way a coin or money that's not tangible would be even more valuable than even a dollar. We didn't believe this. I'm sure many of you all got the phone call when the crypto coin was $350 and $300. And like me, I remember when I got the call, the first call, it was $350. Okay, knowing what I know now, whether I believe in it or not, all right. I wish I would have bought me some coins. I had the money. I just said to myself, I remember saying, there's no way the government will let crypto take over. It's not going to happen. The U.S. dollar, the dollar bill, in God we trust, the triangle, the symbol, nah, there's no way. But look, I tell y'all something that happened recently. My sister asked me to give her some money. I was about to give my sister $200 cash. And my sister said to me, no, I'd rather take $100 in crypto coins, okay? Because my sister wanted the digital currency. She said, no, I'm sorry, let me repeat that. She said, I'd rather take the cash app. She'd rather take $100 cash app than $200 cash because she wanted the money on her debit card. She wanted her money in the clouds. And that day was the day I realized that it's time for me to wake up and set a set of new rules. It was the day I said, Stormy, it's time for you to pay attention. As a matter of fact, if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write on your paper, like, pay attention. The world around us, we're watching. We go to the banks. Listen, we got to make an appointment to get in the bank. We got to make an appointment to open an account. And then you hope that you see a live person because now everything is ran by some type of, artificial intelligence, some type of machine. You go to the grocery store now and you barely could get a cashier at the cash register. You got to go through the automated, system, and you no longer even get to talk to people. And when you even think about what's going on right now with COVID, right? We can't even really have free conversation. I think a lot of us are getting a little bit more comfortable. We are. A lot of people got vaccines and a lot of people are still social distancing. But look at what the world is doing. The world is creating this new space where it's high tech, low touch. Like literally high tech, low touch. And so when I woke up, I recognized that I had to, again, work on Stormy. And I want you to really write this down. What I do every single day, number one, I own my mornings. I own my mornings. There was a point in time where I would wake up and I would be okay with waking up any which way. And then I realized that something happened because I woke up and it was 3.5 years later. And I realized that, wait a minute, I kept saying to myself for 3.5 years that I was waking up on the wrong side of the bed, literally. And then it didn't hit me until I was 3.5 years in, and I realized I wasn't waking up on the wrong side of the bed. I was in a depression. Okay. I lost my mom August 26, 2011. And I fell into this depression and I didn't know what it was. And what ended up happening when I was in this depression is that I started to attract more depressed people. And so I didn't see myself through them because we were all alike. And so I went from being this multimillionaire that was on billboards and magazines and buses to depressed, broke, and hanging around a bunch of broke people. And so all of these things, I'm looking around, I'm still not knowing what is it that I need to do to break out of this place. And so the first thing I did, as I said, I decided to grow and I decided to own my mornings. And I want to give y'all something that I've learned to do because I needed to know how to recreate the conditions in my mind. See, successful people, they learn to create conditions in their mind in order to succeed. Successful people, I'm talking about real successful people that know how to figure stuff out, successful people that are not just successful because they are a doctor, not successful people because they hold a title, but successful people because it's internally who they are. Like you got some people like me, for example, it's nothing you could do to put me in a place of being broke again, being depressed again, being victimized again, because I know better. I've learned strategies and I've had coaches and I've had mentors and I've read books and I still read books. And every single day, my friend, every single day, I must learn something new. I do not go to bed, okay, until I know I've learned something new. And because I knew that I could figure things out here and figure things out there, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't play. This is a part of what I do every single morning, and I'm gonna give it to you. But before I give it to you, let me tell you, this is one thing that I've learned to do. Remember, people say things to you, they call you things, they give you these nicknames, and oftentimes they don't realize that I may have been that person in that season. I may have had the ADD mentality, and I probably did have ADD. I probably was fat when everybody called me fat. I probably was rude when everybody used to call me rude. I probably was broke when everybody called me broke. But that's not a reflection of who I am right now. And so I took that ADD and I said, Stormy, how do I allow ADD to work for me? As I said, successful people, they create conditions in their mind in order to succeed. And so the A in ADD for me no longer means attention deficit disorder. The A in ADD means every time I think of ADD, I'm thinking about assessing Stormy Wellington. Okay. I assess Stormy Wellington every day. What does that mean? Number one, from the mornings, from when I wake up in the morning, I ask Stormy Wellington, how are you doing, Stormy? Like literally, I wiggle my toes and how are you doing today, Stormy Wellington? How do you feel, Stormy Wellington? And I really allow myself to answer. And I don't allow myself to feel how I may feel. So let's say I wake up and it's like, how you feel, Stormy? I'm tired. I may look at my watch and say, you know what? Well, you could give yourself 20, 30 more minutes. Okay. Or if it's like, I'm tired and I can't be tired because I have to meditate at 8:08 in the morning and it's 8 o'clock. I'd be like, okay, well, you can't be tired. You got to get up. You got to get ready to meditate. Okay. And that means, Miss Stormy, this is how I talk to myself in that moment. That means tonight, you need to get to bed early. You understand? This is how I manage me. This is how I talk to me. Because again, successful people learn to create conditions in their mind in order to succeed. And I hope you're not saying, well, what does this have to do with my platform? Well, this is Transformation Day. In order for you to build a successful platform, it begins with you knowing how to manage and handle you. And if you learn what I'm teaching you from knowing that this has to be true, because look at her life, the number one income earner in her industry. I've coached 34 families to millionaire, multi-millionaire status. Pete keeps calling her back to his platform. I got my show coming out next year. It premieres January 29th. Please save the date. I would love you guys to watch. I can't tell you the network, but just know it's going to be aired on the number one network in the world. Okay, I am a best-selling author of 3 books, and I am very proud to be able to come back to the platform. So I really hope that you all take what I'm teaching and sharing, and you believe that it's true. Because if it worked for me, it can work for you. And so the A is always, always, always assessing yourself. And I'm talking about assessing yourself so much because you want to be intentional. I mean, think about this for a minute. For me, I'm 41, okay? And I just, I know God is possible and capable of doing anything. He's God, okay? But what if the truth is, when you look at statistics, it says that the average African-American female will live to see 82. That's the average. And so this may not be a philosophy that you implement, but for me, I said, what if that's true? That means I've already lived half of my life and I got 41 left. And even if I do get 50, it's not much I could do at 80 as much as I could do at 41. And so in this season of my life, like I don't waste my time. I don't waste my time with friends. I don't waste my time worrying about problems that I can't solve. I don't waste my time with relationships, you know. I don't waste my time being sad. Like time is of the essence to Stormy. Okay. And that's a part of why I assess myself. And I ask myself, what is this relationship doing for me? What is this thought doing for me? Why am I thinking this thought? Why am I reading this book? Why am I eating this food? Like, why am I drinking this juice? Like it's that serious. Because I have big goals and big dreams and big plans. And you guys write this down. I believe that progress is the key to happiness and the glue that makes happiness stick. I believe that if you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. And that's a part of why you don't feel happy, because you need to see yourself progress. Like you need to see yourself creating and elevating. You need to have that experience for yourself. It is necessary. And so always assessing myself. The D, as I assess myself, now I make a decision. I make a decision. Stormy, what is this assessment giving you? What are you figuring out? What did you notice? Did you gain weight, Stormy? Did you lose too much weight? Do your eyes look puffy and sleepy? Have you noticed that all week long you've been saying you're tired? Have you noticed that all week long you keep thinking about this one person that betrayed you? Did you notice that all week long you keep thinking every morning when you wake up about like what is your dominant thought? And now I decide what I need to divide. That's what ADD means to me. Assess, decide, divide. Assess, decide, divide. So I live my life based on that. I'm always assessing, I'm always deciding, and I'm always dividing, to the point where, I don't have a problem with people saying, "But that's not what you said you were going to do. That was not your goal." And I'm like, well, my goal has changed. Now, my vision never changes. My vision remains the same. Okay, as a matter of fact, you may want to write this down. The vision for your life creates the discipline for your life. The vision for your life creates the discipline for your life. And I wish I had time to break that down for you, but you got to come to the awakening that I do every year for that. But the vision for your life creates the discipline for your life. Imagine if you really moved according to what you see for yourself, to the point where you know now how to move, because if it doesn't align with where you want to go, you know how to easily tell somebody no. See, vision allows you to know what you can't eat, what you can't drink, how late you can sleep, who you can date, who you can't date, who you can be friends with. Like, it's beautiful. So always have that ADD mentality. Now, I was talking about that it's time for us to get under like new management. Like we're 47 days away before the new year. And again, you should feel like just proud of yourself that you're here on a Sunday. You could be anywhere else, but you're here. And you've been here for, I think, 2 days now. And so, like, what are we going to do with these next 47 days? Well, I want to teach you a strategy and some strategy that I use. And it falls underneath this umbrella that I call Liddy. And you can write this down, like Liddy, like, I'm a black girl, and you often hear, and I don't know if y'all may have any black friends, but they may say things like, I'm lit, and that's how we talk. So lit means I'm pumped, I'm turned up, let's have some fun. Like, you're going to get lit tonight, you're going to get lit today. Like, lit is like we're going to live in the moment, have fun, carpe diem, okay? So I get litty, but I'm always changing things because I like to get litty, and I can't get too litty because litty throws me off my game, okay? So litty to me now means learn, implement, tweak, teach, yes, right? What do I mean by the yes? That means progress. You learn things, you implement things, you tweak what you learn according to your style, and you teach it to other people. And if you want to learn one sure way to success, if you ask me, is the John Paul Getty way. Okay, he said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 men's efforts versus 100% of my very own. One of the things that I love when Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn, one of them says, if you help enough people get what they want, you ultimately get what you want. And so anything that you do, especially in terms of building your platform and going to that next level, it has to encompass you helping somebody else. Even if we go back to biblical days, what is the first thing God said in the Garden of Eden? And if you're paying attention to this is my backyard right here. In my mind, this is the Garden of Eden. I feel very like I'm encapsulated in a very, awakened environment. And that's a whole nother training for another day. But Learn, implement, tweak, teach, yes. So every morning I own my mornings, okay? And what do? As soon as I wake up, I check in with Stormy. Stormy, how you feeling today? Okay, and I really listen to how I feel, because based on how I feel, it's gonna let me know what needs to happen next. Do I need to lay back down for a few minutes? Do I need to say a prayer? Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. Seek and ye shall find. That's real. So I do it every day. Boom, I go into a prayer after I may get a nap, or I take another 10 minutes, whatever I have. But then I pray, a little quick prayer. God, thank you. And I ask him for what I need, and I say what I need. And it's, once I clap, that means it's time for my feet to hit the ground. Okay, devil, she's up. She's up. She's ready to get to it today. Once I get out the bed, there's no turning back until it's time to turn down for the next day. I get up, I immediately go into my meditation room. And I have over 1,000 families that meet me from all over the world every morning. We reset, we realign, and we establish. Okay, we reset every morning at 8:08. We realign every morning at 8:08, and we reestablish ourselves for this new day. See, prayer is when you talk to God. Meditation allows God to talk to you. The reason why so many people are stuck is because they don't experience stillness. Okay, stillness is where you get to tap in to some of the great, your self power is the greatest power, and you get to tap into it during meditation. And it's best if you do it in the morning, and you try to get in a 10-minute throughout the day here and a 5-minute throughout the day here, and so you're now able to realign multiple times throughout the day. And so after my meditation, I go work out, and then of course I supplement every morning. I take about 5-6 supplements every single morning, and after that I go work out. And after I work out, my energy is ready, and I feel like I am ready for the brand new day. So I don't go into a day at 20% or 30%. I go into a day at 100%. That's why my 24 hours is more than somebody else's 24 hours. What the average person does in a decade, I do in 2 days because of my mind. I've been able to manifest things in a miraculous way. I live my life on my own terms. Everything that I have is because I want it. Everything I don't have is not mine. And it's because of, I believe, what I do every single morning. So I promised Pete and the team that I was going to tap into a meditation with you guys, like I was going to tap into a nice, I normally do 10 minutes, but I know we don't have a lot of time, so I tap into a nice 5-minute. No, we got time. I tap into a nice 10-minute meditation with you. And so if everybody who's tapped in right now, if you want to experience the meditation, I know it's